You know what's great? Pinball. You know what's even better? Mario Pinball! But seriously though, have you ever noticed how many pinball sim video games there are? It's like the developers went to an arcade, looked at all the machines, and pointed to the one thing that wasn't an actual video game and were like, you know what would make this so much better? If I could play it on a Game Boy. No joke. There are so many of these, not to mention the hundreds of mobile game titles. I want to know what's up with all these damn pinball games. So I've decided to play the weirdest and wackiest pinball games I could find. First up, we got Extreme Pinball for PlayStation. Okay, we're off to a good start with a few JPEGs of dev logos coupled with silence, so I can contemplate why I paid money for this game. Okay, here we are. Interesting choice for a title screen. Looks like we have 4 tables. Medieval Knights, Rock Fantasy, whatever that means, Urban Chaos, and Monkey Mayhem. Let's take a look at Medieval Knights first. Wow. This is a long loading screen. Yeah, apparently a whole minute is an appropriate amount of time it should take to load in a pinball table. That's right, 60 seconds of staring at an image in silence. No progress bar, no nothing. You know, this bears a striking resemblance to Skyrim loading screens, except in those, there's music playing, a 360 view of an item or a character model to look at, and tips at the bottom. Plus, in Skyrim you had to load in huge areas with hundreds of assets. In Extreme Pinball, you're loading in this. But hey, at least you have these fun little pictures to look at. This one's a little boring, but the Urban Chaos one definitely has some entertainment value to it. Yes sir, this is certainly both urban and chaos. As for the tables, they're alright I guess. Medieval Knights is 2 fine gentlemen getting their wiggles out 1473 style. Rock Fantasy apparently is just James Hetfield if he was dropped as a child. Urban Chaos is... I don't even know what any of this is, other than the oddly placed jailhouse and... Does that say parasites? Well, that can't be good. And finally, Monkey Mayhem, which is actually pretty good. Good music, fun sound effects, just all around a fun experience. Although maybe not for the guy the monkeys are holding hostage. I can only hope he doesn't end up like the last guy. Next up, we got Revenge of the Gator. Not sure why they decided to omit the fact that this is a pinball game from the title. Also, what did this guy do to provoke an alligator to seek revenge? Seems like a rather strange sequence of events. Anyhow, this game is very boring, even for a Game Boy game. There are a few different areas you can get to and a couple of bonus stages, but it still feels bland and uneventful. The ball rarely goes where you want it to, making it really difficult and tedious to recover from screwing up. Plus, hey! You fucker! Give me that back! Next up is Austin Powers Pinball for PlayStation. Huh. This may be just me, but that doesn't sound much like the music from the movie. Whatever, we don't have time for nitpicking. Looks like there are 2 tables, themed after each of the first 2 films. Let's check out the first one. Okay, it looks like they give you a detailed explanation of the theme for the table if you want. Guys, if I didn't know the plot of Austin Powers, do you really think I would have made the decision to buy his pinball game? Whatever, let's see the table. Okay, yeah, that's just a bunch of pictures of Austin Powers that you plastered on a pinball table. What's special about this? Oh, I guess you got Dr. Evil's space probe over there, so it's fine. What's up with the screens on the bottom, by the way? I know they have them on real pinball machines, but don't you think they could have improved it a little? What do they even show on there anyway? Okay, what's the Spy Who Shagged Me table look like now? Oh, this one is Dr. Evil. I'm sure that's not getting old anytime soon. It's funny, on the back of the game case, they claim that Mike Myers and Robert Wagner have dialogue in the game, but it's just clips from the movies that they threw in there. There's really nothing to write home about for this one. It's honestly pretty anticlimactic. I don't think I would have any desire to play this one again. I feel like now would be a good time to bring up the pinball games from my childhood. Games that actually bring back positive memories, like Space Cadet. For those of you that don't know, Space Cadet, along with a few other pinball tables, used to come bundled in with Microsoft Windows, until they decided to be douchebags and remove it and not allow the developers to release it elsewhere. The only way to get it now is on a browser, which might be illegal, I'm not sure. Space Cadet represents everything good about a pinball game. Iconic sound effects, good music, and beautiful design. I used to play this in Minesweeper for hours until my parents told me my brain was turning to mush. Also featured in my childhood was Pinball Fx on the Xbox Live Arcade. Nowadays the full game isn't available on Xbox 360, you can only get the demo. Fantastic. But hey, at least there's Pinball Fx 2 and 3 and their 1 billion DLC add-ons, which can cost up to $10 each, by the way. Okay, apparently you can get Pinball Fx on Xbox One. Sweet, let's get this baby downloaded and... Install or not currently available? Good question. I was kinda hoping you could tell me that. Existential dilemmas aside, this one was an easy winner. Pinball Fx was a very pleasant and visually appealing experience that proves modern pinball simulations can actually be worth playing. That being said, younger me played it twice and uninstalled it. I had Viva Pinata to play, okay? Are you glad I got you all hopeful and warm inside with my wholesome pinball stories? Are you? Good, because next we got Patriotic Pinball for the PlayStation. Ah yes, the Symphony of Freedom. Doesn't this music just make you want to go out and ride around in Walmart, one of those little scooter shopping carts? Seriously though, this is the music they chose. Not like anything to do with America. What, is the fucking Star Spangled Banner copyrighted now? Whatever, just let me look at the pinball. Okay, looks like this game was made by the same people as the Austin Powers one. How did they guess my two favorite genres? Spoof spy movies and obesity. Now that's what I call a loading bar. Makes me want to go mow down some peaceful protesters. Okay, we're in and whoa, there's a lot going on here. I can barely see the ball. Oh shit. Oh my goodness. Looks like when you die and get a game over, they put up a flag at half staff. Seems a little heavy for a pinball game, but oh well. What else were you gonna use that screen for? The other table is road trip themed, I guess. Not sure what that has to do with being a patriot, but okay. Both tables have little mini games that happen at random, but I can never figure out what to do. Even if I did though, I don't think I would be able to complete the tasks, considering it's pinball and the ball kinda just goes wherever it wants. This one was fine. The road trip table is marginally better than America on Duty, but overall there's nothing that makes this game stand out. Next up is Odama for the Gamecube. This game utilizes the Gamecube microphone, which I personally had no idea existed until just now. Oh yeah, they mean business, hitting you with sarcasm like that before the game's even started. Yeah, fine, let me just get this shit in the thing. Okay, yeah, long ass story with not a lot visually in a language I don't understand. Let's skip this shit. Alright, first battle, let's do it. So, it would appear that there's some sort of goal I'm supposed to be trying to accomplish instead of just crushing my guys with a giant pinball. Alright, I'm at a section where I have to use the microphone to issue orders to the soldiers. Let's see how well that works. Advance! Holy shit, it actually works. Well, now that that's done, time to head back to battle. Nah, that's fine. We'll just give it another try. Did he just fucking laugh at me? That's it, I'm fucking killing this level. Motherfucker! What the fuck? This game is now shit-talking me when I click on the level. Yeah, I think I'm done with this one, fellas. Now, finally, the crowning jewel of everything pinball. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce you to Pinball Quest for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Created by Jaleco Limited, it is credited as the first ever pinball role-playing game hybrid. This is one of the hardest games I've ever played, and possibly the hardest game I've ever beaten. So, let's begin. The first thing you'll notice are the different game modes you get to choose from at the start. These first 3 tables are pretty fun, but not all that special on their own. The real monster within this unassuming little cartridge is the RPG mode. Our story begins in what I believe is the castle home of the princess, whom I'd assume intends to marry me, her father, and me over there on the side. Not sure what I'm doing over there, but whatever. It would seem as though life has treated me somewhat kindly. You know, aside from the fact that I'm a fucking pinball. Next thing you know, these little gremlin people come in, effortlessly defeat the guards, and steal the princess. Also, I think they may have given King George III over here a serious case of whiplash. Somehow, after hastily chasing after them, you end up here. Well, there's no use dilly-dallying. Time to step up. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is break this tombstone over here, which will let this ghost dude out. Then you pummel him with the ball and he tells you what you need to do to rescue the princess, who is being held in the castle to the north. So I spent a little while trying to get up that path to the left, and once I got up there, I just kept rolling back down. What the hell? Of course, what they didn't explain is that you have to use the D-pad to swap the location of the flippers on each level. So once you're up here, you gotta kill these 3 skeletons, and they turn into this big guy with a floating head. Once you beat him, you pick up a key that makes the same sound as the sticky keys alert, and head up to the castle. At the end of each stage, you get the option to talk to this merchant guy. I tried stealing his wares, but he just summoned a bunch of floor people to come beat the fuck out of me and take my money. Whatever, next level. So this stage's boss is a wizard guy, and when I tell you this was the hardest boss I've ever fought, I'm not fucking around. He has a ridiculous amount of health and kills you in 1 hit. Not to mention he has dogs that protect him from getting hit, and the ball is constantly falling down to the lower level, where you lose so fast. Also, every time you die, you have to go all the way back to the beginning of the previous stage. You don't have to fight the bosses again, but it still takes forever just to get one more shot at beating this fucker. Eventually, I made enough money to buy these stoppers, which make it so you basically can't lose unless you take damage. It took me an hour and 14 minutes to beat the second boss. For scale, it only took 20 minutes for me to beat the rest of the game. Whatever. No use dwelling on this bastard. Next level. The next boss is a big purple guy that only comes down once you've popped all of his frog minions. Yeah. You heard that right. He has this move where he grabs you and chucks you down to the lower portion, but it doesn't really do anything, considering his little minion will take you back up the elevator right away. If any of that made sense. Anyway, pretty easy boss. Next level. Oh, I see. You gotta hit the ball up there, and then it gets shot up there, and then over there, then down there, then over to the roulette wheel where it'll spin for like an hour. Then it goes up there, and back to the beginning. Wonderful. So, if by the grace of God you somehow make it through all this nonsense, you have to fight 6 suits of armor. Cool, moving on. Okay, this next level is super annoying. It would appear as though the princess is up there, being held by 4 little demon guys, but when you kill them all, she just stays put. What do? Bean her with the ball? Oh, I see. It's a succubus. Great. This boss is total bullshit. Whenever you damage her, she turns back into the princess and lunges towards you. And if you aren't lucky enough to have the ball hit her somehow, she'll deal damage to you, even if you move the flippers out of her way. How is that fair? Whatever, I beat her after a few tries. Now, on to the final boss, Satan himself. Yep, my girlfriend was stolen by Lucifer and I have to go into a nearby castle to fight him. And I'm a pinball. Good one. This guy is pretty hard too. He throws skulls at you, which are really hard to dodge when the ball kinda just goes wherever the hell it wants to. It's a pretty cool fight, and oh shit, I melted him. Well, that's the game, ladies and gentlemen. What the fuck is going on now? Oh, I guess I got pulled into a pocket dimension. Hate it when that happens. Oh? Who's this joker? Whoops. Guess he's dead now. Okay. Is this over yet? Yeah, it's over. Well, that's the end of today's episode, ladies and gentlemen.